January 2013. Downtown Los Angeles. A budget hotel with a grand old name, the Cecil, standing on the edge of Skid Row. People pass it every day. Most don't look up. Her name is Elisa Lam, 21, a Canadian student traveling alone, curious, bookish, a diary always in her bag. She checks in for a few nights, planning bookstores, coffee shops, the kind of wandering you do when a city is new and you are too. She phones home, she posts online, she sounds hopeful, and then she goes quiet. January 31st. A camera in an elevator records her. 4 minutes that will circle the internet for years. She steps in, presses buttons, peeks into the hall, steps out, steps back. Her hands move in quick shapes like she's trying to explain something no one else can see. The doors don't close. She hides, then looks again. And then she's gone. Her parents report her missing on February 8th. Police search the hotel. Dogs sweep hallways and the roof. Nothing, or maybe not enough. Days pass. Guests complain. The water is weak. The taste is wrong. The color, not right. A maintenance worker climbs a steel ladder to check the tanks on the roof. Inside one of them, he finds a body. February 19th, 2013. It's Elisa. People ask the same question. How did she get there? A locked rooftop door, a heavy tank lid, a slim girl, alone. The coroner's report arrives. Accidental drowning, no evidence of assault. A note, bipolar disorder, a significant contributing factor. The kind of line that sounds clinical, but carries a lifetime of meaning. If you don't know the Cecil, you should. It opened in 1924 with marble and mirrors, and then history bent. The Great Depression, Skid Row, a long ledger of tragedies. Jumps, overdoses, a falling body that killed a man on the sidewalk, even serial killers passing through. The building became a myth you could rent by the night. So when Elisa's story hit the news, when that elevator video went viral, the world connected the dots into monsters, ghosts, curses, conspiracies. But cops, doctors, and time pointed back at something smaller and sadder. A young traveler, unwell that night, in a maze of locked doors and industrial steel. Let's walk it carefully. The elevator footage, recorded February 1st, released February 13th to seek tips. Her behavior looks erratic, pressing many buttons, stepping in and out, making shapes with her hands. People online read it as fear, or play, or possession, but clinicians see something familiar, a potential psychotic episode. The coroner's line about bipolar wasn't random. Hotel logistics. The roof access is alarmed, but workers use alternate routes. Ladders on the tanks are exposed. The lids, heavy but openable. In that space, at night, you could climb. You could slip, and once inside, cold water, steep walls, and no leverage to climb out. Panic turns to exhaustion, silence. Still, there are details that won't stop whispering. Why didn't the dogs find her? Why didn't anyone hear? Why did the water taste wrong for days? Because the tank was sealed from sight, and sound dies on the roof. Because a hotel with a past like the Cecil invites stories, and stories breed faster than facts. Because grief hates the word accident. It wants a villain. Sometimes there isn't one you can name. The official answer sits in a few sentences. Elisa Lam climbed into a water tank and drowned. Mental illness contributed. No criminal charge. Case closed. But for the rest of us, it's not. We replay the elevator. We imagine the roof, the wind, the city's neon buzz. We picture her choosing the wrong door. We picture her not choosing anything at all, just drifting through a night that got sharper, stranger, until steel and water took her in. There's another reason this story shakes people. because hotels feel like containers for other people's lives. You close a door and the world shrinks to a bed, a lamp, a humming fan. You trust the building to hold you together. But the Cecil had been leaking tragedy for decades. And when tragedy happens in a place like that, it echoes. It colors the walls. It makes the ordinary feel haunted. If you stand across the street at night, the Cecil looks like a stack of dark teeth. Some windows glow, most don't. The rooftop is a silhouette, angles and ladders and tanks like sleeping giants. Somewhere up there, in February wind, a maintenance worker lifted a lid and changed a family forever. Elisa's parents asked for privacy and for people to remember their daughter as more than a mystery. She loved books. She wrote about loneliness and kindness and the small ways we stay alive together. Sometimes internet detectives forget that the case file ends with a person, not a puzzle box. So here is a truer ending. A young woman traveled because she wanted the world to feel larger. On a winter night, her mind betrayed her. A hotel with too much history and too little safety got the rest. When people ask why this story haunts them, I say, because it could happen to someone you love, in a city you trust, behind a door you've already closed. Because horror isn't always claws and shadows. Sometimes it's a ladder, a lid, and a mistake no one comes back to explain. If you ever ride that old elevator, if it still runs, you'll watch the numbers glow and hear the cables moan. You'll think of 4 minutes of video and a girl who steps out and never steps back in. The doors will shut on empty air and you'll feel it. How a place can remember even when people try to forget.